It is your Classic Metal Show right here on the ClassicMetalShow.com. That is Sebastian Bach with Hell Inside My Head. And apparently Sebastian Bach is experiencing some personal hell. I'm not really sure exactly to what extent that is, but let me see here. Chris will rejoin me here in a minute here, but apparently insiders allege that Sebastian Bach has fallen off the wagon and tweets, "I am single, let's all mingle." So anyway, according to a hot rumor on the street is that Sebastian Bach has fallen off the wagon, says an inside source. It appears that Bach was really enjoying himself recently with close friends. So much so, he poured himself a drink. Oh my God. Now we can't be 100% sure that he was drinking alcohol, but he was holding a wine glass and it looked pretty full. Of course, that doesn't mean he was drinking it, but oddly, wine happens to be Bach's drink of choice. Wow, he's living on the edge. Our insider sent us a photo and alleged it was snapped last week of the voice extraordinaire, and it appears that Bach is enjoying a beverage that one would assume is not Kool-Aid. The source also claims that his on and off again relationship with model Minnie Gupta has hit the skids again. Not that Skid Row, but the skids as in appears to be having a rough go of it. This now appears to be true and would come as a big surprise as a singer's, let's see, how's it say this again? This now appears to be true and would come as a big surprise as the singer stated just last month, "I have a girlfriend and I would marry her if she wanted me to," when he was interviewed at a show in Europe. Bach tweeted, "I am single, so let's all mingle," and it seems to blame rock and roll for fucking up his relationship again. Bach then advises Wanted, a girl who wants to travel the world, have fun, and can deal. So I guess Sebastian is out there on the hunt again, since his current relationship seems to be on the rocks. But anyway, he's tweeted a couple things out there. "Hey, Milwaukee, tonight at the House of Harley. I am single, so let's all mingle. Chicago, Sunday night at Farm Fest." That's tomorrow night here in the Chicagoland area. "Way to go, rock and roll. You done fucked it all up again. Wanted, a girl who wants to travel the world and have fun and can deal." Iconic and coincidental Minnie Gupta tweeted a message that says, "Go home, you drunk," just a few hours before Bach announced being single. All right, go home, you're drunk. The former Skid Row frontman and the vivacious model have been in love on Twitter for all to see for over 2 years, but there has been some bumps in the road. The couple had broken up in October of 2012, but after only days, the 46-year-old singer tweeted, "Breaking up is hard to do," and confirmed they were back together again. In recent months, Bach has been soaring all over the net, doing countless interviews boasting about his sobriety, and that seems to be the one thing that Gupta demanded of the 6'4" rock god. But the inside source alleges it's not all happy in their love nest anymore, and it appears to be over. Gupta already jumped in and says our Metal Sludge report is old news. See her tweet below. It says Metal Sludge, old news. Next. So it appears that Sebastian Bach is on the loose looking for a new gal, Chris.
Well, I don't know why he wants to look for one to marry. Why doesn't he just bang chicks in every city?
You got to wonder that. You know, I've often wondered why celebrities, especially guys like a Sebastian Bach, who is, you know, for all intents and purposes, has been a sex symbol since he broke on the scene.
Yeah.
And the temptation has got to be extremely great to be out on the road for days or weeks, even months at a time, and be faithful to a chick back home.
Yeah. I mean, and for a guy like Sebastian, he doesn't need these fucking hottie girlfriends. Just fucking tag whatever's the fucking hottest piece of ass in the first 5 rows each night.
Do you think it's a status symbol thing?
I don't know. I honestly somehow wonder if it's not old school tradition that they're supposed to have a wife. You know, by this age, I should have a wife, and he goes home to mom, and mom is like, when are you going to settle down, Sebastian?
Yeah,
and
but
blah,
the
blah,
thing
blah.
is that he's been married since the Skid Row days.
Yeah, but never happily.
Well, I'm not saying that, but you just going from your point about being the traditional thing.
Yeah.
So he was married for a lot of years to that Maria.
Yeah, that chick that's on the 38 special cover with the big titties.
Yeah, and he had children with her.
Oh, did he? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, he had children with her. And then they divorced, 3 or 4 years ago?
Yeah, something like that.
And then he got this hot model girlfriend, and they've been on again and off again, and now he's single again, and it's just like, what's the point in all that?
Who knows? He likes giving away half of his half every time.
I suppose.
You know, at least he didn't marry this one to where he'd have to pay her a bunch.
Well, he said he'd marry her if she wanted him to, but apparently she knew that there was something, not stable there.
Well, we're talking about the Gupta chick, right?
Yeah, the Gupta chick, yeah.
Isn't the deal with her is she won't let him drink at all?
Yeah, well, he apparently, was on the wagon for a long time, but now that he's not with her, he's off the wagon.
I got news for everybody. I don't care how good the pussy is. If you like alcohol, it's not better.
Well, again, it's
no matter how good the pussy is. Honestly.
Well, but this goes back to that whole story that you told literally years ago about guys that you knew who smoked pot, and then they married some chick and they couldn't smoke pot, and then they wanted to smoke pot, and then it was a real problem. And again, these are substance issues or personal choice issues.
Yeah.
But the thing is that when you make these drastic changes to appease another person, and that's really not who you are,
right?
It's gonna always rear its ugly head, and it's gonna come to the surface again. Always.
It has to.
Always.
It absolutely has to. Because if you're not changed, look, anybody can change anything that they want to change if they want to change it for themselves. But if they don't want to change it, if Sebastian Bach quit drinking so that he could be with this girl that he loves, that love wears thin.
It does.
Sometimes you just want to fucking get fucked up.
Right.
I mean, maybe not you necessarily, but people that drink, sometimes they just want to fucking drink 30 beers.
Right.
Sometimes they just want to smoke a fucking half a bag of goddamn weed. And no amount of me or it is ever going to outweigh it. No matter what. That's just the dumbest shit.
It is. It's either in you or it's not.
Yeah, and I did it too. So I'm certainly not picking like I'm fucking brilliant and Sebastian's an idiot. I did the same shit with fucking radio. My ex hated fucking me being on the radio. Couldn't fucking take that I was actually good at this, and entertained people, and people found me funny or whatever. Hated that fucking shit. You saw it firsthand.
I did. Absolutely.
She hated it. But when I tried to stop, when I actually quit doing it completely, what happened? I was more unhappy than I'd ever been.
Sure.
Because in the real world, it bothered me that I wasn't doing the one thing that gave me some joy day to day.
Right.
And it's the same with Sebastian with his booze. Am I wrong in thinking, I've been around Sebastian, but I don't know what his drinking choice is other than every time I've ever been backstage, he's a wine guy.
Yeah, he's a wine guy.
Yeah, he's like you. He drinks the wine. And if the guy wants to drink wine, who cares? Why is it a fucking problem? And if it is a problem, why would you date this guy?
Right.
That's what I never understand. I get the guys. The guys look at the chick and say, man, she's hot as fuck. I want to fuck that bitch. But the girls, they're all looking for some fucking long-term permanent thing. Well, they already know that you're going into a relationship with a guy that you know does something that you can't live with. But you're going to go into that relationship anyway.
Yeah,
why?
Because you're going to fix it.
No, you're never going to fix it.
But
we're not the ones that are.
But that's the mentality. They're going to fix it.
Girls, understand this. We are the fixers. You are the ones that need fixed. It never goes the other way. We always will try and fix everything. But when you try to fix something, we will fucking rebel like nobody's business.
Right.
We're never going to let you fix us.
Sure.
That's just the way it works.
Hail and kill caller. You're on the air.
This guy's going to end up like Janie Lane.
Nah, I don't see that. I don't see that. I knew Janie. I've hung out with Sebastian. Sebastian is not a codependent person as far as needing a crutch. I don't think Sebastian needs a crutch.
Yeah.
Sebastian gets high on his performing and his ability to record and write a record and so on and so forth. Janie, for whatever reason, as talented as that guy was, he needed a crutch.
Right. Is there a guy today, Neely, that you think is on the same path as Janie?
As Janie?
Yeah. I see. I have one.
Off the top of my head?
Yeah.
I can't think of anybody off the top of my head.
Jack Russell.
Yeah, he came real close,
isn't Jack Russell sober now?
Well, but the thing is they go through these stints.
They all do it.
They go through these stints where they're fucked up, then they're sober, and then they're fucked up, and then they're sober. And, Jack, I guess he is sort of like a candidate for that, but I guess if he had a big downturn in his life that he would go back and screw his life up again.
Jack is a girlfriend away.
Yeah, I would agree.
He's always a girlfriend away.
Yeah, that's true. Absolutely. Right now, he's doing okay.
Yeah.
But who knows what it'll be a year from now or maybe 2 years from now.
Yeah.
I mean, it could happen. I mean, yeah, it could happen to any of these guys. It could happen
Tim,
to
are you
Ace
hiding
Frehley
under
as
a
well.
pillow and calling?
No, what's up? Can't you hear me properly?
I thought now you sound fine if you weren't biting that pillow and trying to talk into your cell phone at the same time.
No. It's I mean, Ace Frehley could end up the same way too. Any of these guys. I mean, apparently, Steven Tyler just relapsed like a couple of years ago, didn't he?
No, not relapse. We're not talking about relapse. We're talking about going all the way out, being dead. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, if these guys are addicts. I mean, that's and if they relapse, they could go on an absolute bender and freaking die.
Yeah, but Janie was I don't think you understand where Janie was. Janie's benders were sober benders. Janie went on sober benders for little amounts of time where he was sober. And then the rest of his life was fucked up. On the verge of death. Always.
You mean okay, to put this in a kind of a nutshell, you mean what you're saying is that Janie Lane basically lived like Aerosmith, like late 70s, up to 1985, whatever it was, done with mirrors, where livers and stuff were just collapsing, but his benders would be like little ones where he'd be sober for a week or something, but his life...
That's more what it was with Janie. Janie, and we have different interviews to prove this. Janie went through phases where he found God, had mentors. This guy was going to be the guy on the road to help him do better. Understood that he couldn't be on the road, but, what else was he going to do? Janie knew he was going to die. Janie absolutely knew he was going to die from doing what he was doing, but kept on doing it. He couldn't stop.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll let you continue with the discussion. But by the way, to the people in the chat room that hate me, fuck you. At least I'm on the air. If you got something to say, call it in. Fuck you.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right, pal.
Look at Tim taking it to the chat room.
That's right, Tim. Don't take no shit off these guys.
Yeah, that's what I think.
They want to call you a cocksucker. You just fucking tell them, well, I am, but I don't appreciate your words.
Right. All right. Well, Sebastian is going to be here in the Chicagoland area tomorrow for, what is it called? Farm Fest?
Farm Fest?
Yeah, that's the one that's the one I was at.
One.
That was the one I was at last year when you interviewed Jimmy DeGrasso over the phone.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the right. One when Susan Tate had a dildo named Wendell. And that's the one when I put Bobby Blotzer on the phone.
The real Susan Tate.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, let's just make sure we're identifying the right people.
Right. But that's when I put Bobby Blotzer on the phone, and that was when the airplane that Dawkins and Rat were on caught fire.
Right, that's right.
And that was the one where I met Okie Tigress.
Oh, look at you! You just had a real fun time at Farm Fest.
Yeah. So that was the same. That was the same one.
Nathan in Kentucky. Wow, the fag smacks us down with his limp wrist.
Wow. Well, anyway.
Yeah.
Skid Row related.
Okay.
Last time we did a live show, we had Snake Sabo on the show.
Okay.
And he, you basically asked Snake the question about his thoughts on Phil Varone's movie Waking Up Dead.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that made the rounds to all the music news media.
Yep.
Well, Metal Sludge is not one to miss out on this because they actually have some more coverage on this as well.
Oh, really?
I don't know if you were aware of it.
Not aware of it.
Hail and kill, caller. You're on the air.
Do you remember when Janie Lane died? Sebastian Bach put out this emotional post on his Facebook or his blog or some fucking thing where he talked about the loneliness of the life of a rock star and how he and Janie, putting words in Janie's drying open mouth.
Wow.
Basically saying that, he and Janie, they just wanted love and they wanted somebody who could just be their soulmate and all this stuff. And Baz just made him sound like the loneliest motherfucker in the world. And he just wanted somebody to love and cuddle with.
Well, there is some truth to that, I guess. I can't speak from personal experience, but I did, and not to sound too cliche here, but I had Don Dawkins, he's over in France right now. And he sent me over, I'd been corresponding him back and forth a little bit. Actually, he wanted to be on the show tonight, but it's like a 7-hour difference over there or something. But anyway, he had expressed to me in an email about being bummed out about the whole Robin Williams thing. And
sure.
I'm trying to find it real quick, just a little piece here that he had sent me. Where was it? Let's see here.
Under H for hero.
Well, what is that from?
Me saying that you think Don's your hero.
Oh. Let's see here. He had written something to me about the whole being bummed out about. Here it is. It says, "I am really bummed out about Robin Williams. I might write about the demons within us. Money, fame, loved by millions, in the end was lost and now gone. Such a shame." And, basically went on from there. I didn't want to get too much out of the bag here, but apparently, even though these gals who acquire fame and money and fortune and stuff, even though you think that they have the life and everybody loves them and whatever, they have a tendency to be very lonely people. They don't seem to have close friends for whatever reason.
No.
Because they don't know who to trust, who just wants to be with them because of who they are, or because of what they are, rather than who they are.
True. Which, again, this is the reason why, when it comes to my friendship with Don, he and I are just bros. I don't like him because he's Don Dokken. It's just because we're friends, and Chris can attest to that. We're just buds, Yeah. And it's not because, I'll only be your friend as long as you're still, have a certain status. But, once the spotlight fades, you and I, our relationship or friendship is over. It's not going to happen.
Right.
But there are a lot of people out there like that, though, unfortunately.
Sure.
Well, the big problem that I think that the celebrities have is that once they become celebrities, they try to isolate down to only having celebrity friends. And the problem is that 99% of those people are so shallow that it's a lose-lose.
Yeah, because they figured now that I'm famous and I have an entourage and I do all this stuff, the only person who can relate to me is somebody who's also famous.
Yeah, but that's stupid.
It's like Dee Snider said in his book, his only friends are people he knew before he was in Twisted Sister.
Right, because they knew him for who he was prior to being the rock star Dee Snider.
Yep.
Exactly. And also on the Sebastian Bach note, you see Uncle Ted doing a little bit of finger wagging in the press.
I saw that, yeah. I saw that he called Sebastian weak or something, that he's a weak man.
Said he was a weak man and basically called him out on his drinking and told him to knock it off, basically. So that might be one of the industry sources that Sludge was referring to.
Sure.
That, sort of publicly called him out for that.
Well, they also had photos of him with, wine glass in his hand as well.
Sure.
I wonder what that could mean.
Oh, it's probably grape juice that he just happens. The wine glass happens to be the only receptacle.
Right.
Jeff Tate was
a little
in
AA
the
trick
night
where you
before
just
and
put
left
something in a vessel that you're familiar with drinking out of, and you put something else in it.
Right.
Like chewing gum and smoking cigarettes.
Exactly.
I guess. Fuck, I don't. Hey, he's probably drinking wine.
Yeah, imagine that, right?
Wild, isn't it?
It's living on the edge.
Wild.
Living on the edge.
Yes. The good old youth gone wild. The lazy days and crazy nights and all that shit.
I agree.
All right. That is all.
All right, hail and kill.
Pal.
All right. So anyway, Sludge picked up this story that apparently, let's see here. I was reading here real quick. It says that Bang Tango bassist, I have no idea who this guy is, Lance Eric.
Oh, Lance Eric. Don't you remember?
No. Weighs in on recent Skid Row Phil Varone drama.
Well, Lance Eric, don't you have can't you play the sounder? This is a first time or a exclusive or something.
Yeah.
Lance Eric is commenting on our story?
I have no idea who this guy is.
I have never heard of Lance Eric.
Bang Tango bassist Lance Eric.
So he's the current bassist?
I imagine.
Jesus.
Phil is the biggest loser in the industry. It's no secret.
Well, he's no Lance Eric.
Right. Phil Varone lashes out and calls Skid Row a cover band. I wonder where that happened.
I don't know.
Labels Snake Sabo a coward and Rachel Bolin Napoleon.
Yeah.
Phil Varone lashes out and calls Skid Row a cover band, labels Snake Sabo a coward and Rachel Bolin Napoleon on a Facebook page. I wonder why Phil doesn't get shut down for 72 hours.
I don't know. He should have.
Because this is offensive to me.
I'm offended by this.
Phil Varone has officially put Snake Sabo and Rachel Bolin of the band Skid Row on blast. On blast?
Blast.
I don't know what that means. The former drummer of the New Jersey Rockers, who rose to fame with their 1989 self-titled, launched a Facebook post last Friday that was heavy-handed for sure. heavy-handed.
Wow.
Varone lashed out at the guitarist Dave Snake Sabo, labeling him a coward and calling bassist Rachel Bolan Napoleon.
Gee, that's heavy hitting.
Varone joined Skid Row in 2000 and toured with the band for several years, opening for Kiss, Def Leppard, and Poison. During these tours, Varone also filmed some pretty racy rock and roll debauchery-filled footage.
Okay.
Part of the footage became the drummer's own personal trek through the rock and roll on the road. Varone produced and starred in the 2007 documentary Waking Up Dead.
Right.
Phil Varone says, "Dear Snake Sabo," snake meaning a two-faced cunt and not the size of his tiny dick. I'm normally not one to acknowledge clueless, jealous dummies. Call him a dummy.
He did.
He should have been shut down.
I think he should be shut down now.
But in this case, it's just too good to pass up, and I'm sick and tired of these douchebags running their mouths.
Yeah, these douchebags.
I always find it funny when the pot calls the kettle black, and judging from the piece of shit records this sad cover band put out after I left, they are still clueless and still very much clueless and jealous. So is Phil saying that while he was in Skid Row, they were a legitimate band, but after he left, they're a cover band?
I don't know how he could say that.
I don't either. I'm just asking the question.
They haven't been a relevant band in quite a while.
Yeah, not since Sebastian left, I guess.
Yeah, thick skin, maybe. Maybe.
The good part of the recent, the good part about the recent Skid Row records is you can buy 4 of them and have a set of drink coasters.
Yeah.
Okay. The first time I heard the reference made to a CD as a drink coaster was on the Metal Show on WMMS.
Oh, really?
For Risk.
Did I say that?
It was discussed. I was invited to the studio, and it was being discussed when the Megadeth album Risk came out.
Yeah, that thing was a jewel.
And one of the things that you guys were doing were taking phone calls from listeners wondering if there would have been a better title for the Risk release.
Okay.
And the title that I think was the favorite was Drink Coaster.
Nice.
So, all right. If you were to buy 4 of them, that should bring the sound scan up to about 11 sold and catapult it to plywood with an anchor. Hey, David, nothing like commenting on a documentary that came out 7 years ago that not only you and the band are in, but also signed releases and were paid for songs.
All right, now here's where Phil's a little bit wrong on this.
Good going, Aiken, for asking such a question.
Yeah.
You ask loaded questions during these interviews, and these rock stars don't realize when they should clam up. So look at you, just ruining the relationship between Phil Varone and Dave the Snake Sabo.
Well, here's the deal, though. I did ask the question, so what's Snake going to do? Not answer it?
Yeah, well, that was out in 2007. I can't comment.
Yeah, I mean, I asked him the question because it had never been asked before.
You did ask the question, and he did answer the question, and Phil says, hey, nothing like commenting on a documentary that came out 7 years ago.
Yeah.
But you asked the question.
Yeah, I did ask him. I asked him the question. And to be honest, I don't know. Do you remember when it came out, seeing what the Skid Row guys had to say?
I don't recall any of them ever commenting on it.
I don't either. That's why and it literally was a throw-in at the very end.
It was. Good going, Aiken.
I know I suck.
You do. You're an asshole.
Yep, I should be suspended.
Why do you got to put these guys on the spot to answer questions you know are going to be detrimental to their careers?
Imagine that. That's what I was trying to do, was kill what's left of the Skid Row career.
Right. Hail and Kale, caller. You're on the air.
You know, talking about asking the question, I seem to distinctly remember you having Phil Varone on the show when his documentary came out.
Yes, we did.
And he was actually singing Snake's praises because Snake was the only guy who didn't want to have his face blurred out.
Yeah, I remember that too.
Yeah.
I also,
so
you know what else I remember distinctly? That Phil's whole attitude was that what he was doing was disgusting.
Yes.
That was Phil's attitude. Was that what he was doing at the time? That was supposed to be the whole point of the documentary. Disgusting.
That was the whole point of the documentary, that it was supposed to show how, how drug use would fuck you up. And
yeah, debaucherous.
The rock and roll lifestyle wasn't glamorous.
Right.
So now all of a sudden, now that Snake came out and said it was gross, and that he didn't get it. I mean, and by the way, you notice
now that Phil turned it.
Yeah, and now Phil's got his little feelings hurt, and he litters his post with references to penis size.
Yeah, well, that's fantastic, Phil. God gave you a nice sized cock. Fantastic, but it doesn't.
Big deal. That's
doesn't
all you are.
Help. The problem is that, or where this all turns stupid in my head, and this is only my opinion, and I don't know it to be true, but Phil, when he did the documentary, was trying to get the fuck away from all of that behavior. The drugs, the sex, everything. When he came on our show right after the documentary came out, he was like, I'm going to get away from this fucking
Yeah, he
thing.
wanted to be a stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then it didn't go the way
he
wanted
was doing stand-up
and he
comedy
sort of found
shows
his
where
way
he was
back
giving
to
away
porn.
bags of sex toys.
Yeah, but he couldn't make a living at that, so he had to get into porn.
And
now he's
so
doing
now,
like gonzo porn. Like,
yeah, so now,
but hidden
what he is
camera
now
porn.
is now he's a little bit, now he's a bit sensitive to people saying that, him fucking a bunch of scuzzy chicks on the road is disgusting, because that's what he's making a living doing, is selling these porns.
Well, I don't know, man. It's just fucked up. What can you say?
It is.
Well, it's fucked up, especially when we get right in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Of course.
I'll give Phil credit where credit's due, though. The guy does some pretty good camera work, considering that he's shooting while he's fucking and maneuvering his camera at the same time. The guy does have a talent.
And those porta potties are mighty cramped.
Nah, the porns that I've seen of his porn is in hotel rooms.
Oh, okay. Wasn't there a scene in the documentary where he's doing some chick in a porta potty?
That is.
Oh yeah,
that is true.
Yeah, in that, but the actual porns themselves are, or at least the one porn, whatever the one is with the groupies from the road, is that's dude. One of these weeks, I'm gonna have to dig that out and bring just the audio, because there's this one chick that he's banging, and she looks like she's half a fucking nut job, and her husband is calling on the phone the entire time he's fucking.
Oh, good guy.
And it's just this weird. She's this weird, bizarre chick, and we just need to have the audio of her talking. Not necessarily any of the porn sound or anything, but the audio of her talking is fucking. How could you fuck this chick? It would scare me. She's
talking
wacky
to him like it's normal on the phone?
Well, no, I mean, when she's interacting with Phil and when she's trying to talk about the husband that's calling on the phone and everything, she's so fucking wacky that she's scary. And it's like, how do you fuck somebody that you're scared of?
Is she like trying to balance the two worlds?
Yeah, it's a weird. I don't even know how to explain it. It's just weird.
Yeah, I gotta hear that.
I'll try and find it and rip the audio.
I'm sure you just sort of stumbled on it by accident.
No, I will say openly, I am a fan of celebrity porn. I am absolutely a fan of celebrity porn.
Does he count as celebrity? We know that. You said you'd fuck Patti LaBelle.
Not Patti LaBelle. Did I say Patti LaBelle?
I think you might have.
I probably
would.
would.
Every other old ass woman celebrity. Well, that's okay if you stumbled on some porn. How else do you think they got the audio that, real Jeff Tate used for the negotiation room? That horrible sound. I heard that and thought, good Christ, I've got to use that. That woman sounds like the fire whistle in my town.
Got to stop giving away all your secrets.
Hey,
I know it. There's going to be a whole series of imitators. Get it, imitators. Who?
This is all stuff for your upcoming documentary. I was the real Jeff Tate, right?
Good idea. Thanks for it.
Yeah.
I'll name you in the credits, which is more than you said you'd do if you sold Pit Riff.
That's right. Nice.
Sells it like the
Fuck
Huffington
you.
Post.
Pow.
All right, there he goes. All right, to continue.
Yeah.
Let's see here. It wasn't. Let's see here. It wasn't gross. Let's see. When Skid Row begged me to come out and finish a tour when I left the band because your drummer sucked. And I guess it wasn't gross listening to how bad the band sounded when you could barely stand on stage and play 90% of the time. Like the time we played at a bowling alley and you were at the bar at noon. You probably don't remember. You probably don't remember. You see what I did there? Oh, my bad. I forgot. You don't do drugs or drink.
Yeah, but he's not saying that any of that was bad. He's saying that the fucking and the drug use in the documentary was what was gross.
I know, but see, Snake in our interview said he doesn't use drugs, and the only time that he's drank too much vodka and threw up.
Yeah, well, I found that a little suspicious too, to be honest.
See, Phil is calling him out and saying, "Hey, you remember that time?"
Mm-hmm.
So that's what he's doing. He's basically calling him out as a liar without calling him a liar. Let's see. I remember many gross things being in the band, but nothing more gross than the galaxy of pimples on your disgusting back. But I have a solution to all this. Instead of being the fucking coward you are, why don't you come by my place and we can settle this once and for all? No press, no cameras, just me and you. And while you're at it, tell Napoleon to put his bass down, put him in a baby seat, and bring him along.
Yeah, man, put up your dukes.
Basically, I'm going to whip your ass.
Put up your dukes.
I'm going to whip your ass, man.
Going to have a duel.
Right. That unoriginal 5'8" walking cliche bass owner needs to be taught a lesson on how to run his mouth.
Right?
Isn't that something that Sebastian said, that it's been 17 years since he spoke with the bassist?
Yeah.
Isn't that what he said?
He did. Yeah.
Now I understand why Tommy Lee sent him an email that says, "I don't have enough middle fingers for you." Make sure he puts the 6-inch platforms on, or he will never reach 5'8". All right, Hail and Kill Call, you're on the air.
And while we're at it, Axel, if you're watching this, I'm going to challenge you to a fight. Remember this? And I'm going to give you the time, and I'm going to give you the place, and there's no backing out now, buddy. It's time to put up or shut up. Do you remember that?
Yeah, Vince Neil. Vince Neil.
Thanks for calling, Tim.
All right, Hail and Kill.
Jeez. Tim's the only one who remembers that shit, right?
Yeah, because it's Motley Crue.
Right. In closing, you should really be proud. Nothing like a bunch of 50-year-olds, washed-up rock stars in Skid Row cover band playing for 6 people a night. And oh, by the way, Snake, If you're nice and a good boy, maybe I'll loan you some money someday, since we all know how good you are with accounting. I would put you in the adult business, but dicks the size of thimbles are not really in. Just saying. Regards, former drummer Phil Varone.
Thanks for calling, Phil.
All this from the one question you asked in the interview.
I know.
All hilarious. Of this from one question.
Yep, hilarious.
Varone and Skid Row have been in the news before, according to acesshowbiz.com in February 2010. Varone filed a lawsuit against his former bandmates Dave Snake Sabo and James Southward, PKA, or also known as Rachel Bolin. Varone said that Sabo and Southworth have embarked on a crusade to spread vicious lies about Varone in an effort to destroy his professional and personal reputation and to prevent him from truthfully describing his career history as the drummer for Skid Row by contending that his use of the band name is trademark infringement. I was not aware of this.
I wasn't either.
Varone also claimed the pair had falsely informed people that Varone had slept with Sabo's wife.
Never heard that either.
That Varone is a coke addict and that Varone is a liar.
Well, wait a minute. Varone is on his own documentary doing lines of coke.
Right.
And he's on his own documentary saying that the credit cards were worn out from doing so much coke.
Sure.
Remember that scene where he's showing the credit card and it's all busted up and he's like, well, that's because I do so much coke that it wrecked the cards? That's in the documentary.
I know. Well, this is from the original article. Okay. Former Skid Row Phil Varone files legal papers against ex-bandmates.
All right.
The former drummer of Skid Row has sued the band's guitarist Dave Sabo and bassist James Southworth after they allegedly spread vicious lies about Varone in an effort to destroy his reputation. Hail and Kill caller, you're on the air.
Maybe I'm naive. How do you buy coke with credit card?
No, he wasn't buying it.
He was cutting it up with a credit card.
Oh, okay.
In the movie,
silly me.
In the movie,
obviously, I'd never done coke.
Yeah, he was chopping it up with a credit card.
Oh, okay. Silly me. Okay, never mind.
All right.
Continue.
Former Skid Row's drummer Phil Varone has filed a lawsuit against the band's guitarist Dave Sabo and bassist James Southworth, accusing the rockers of spreading lies and destroying his reputation. Varone, who drummed for the 80s glam rock band from 2000 to 2003, filed a suit in Los Angeles Superior Court on February 5th. All right, so I guess this is where a lot of the bad blood comes from. He claims the Sabo and Southworth have embarked on a crusade to spread vicious lies about Varone in an effort to destroy his professional and personal reputation and to prevent him from truthfully describing his career history as the drummer of Skid Row by contending that his use of the band name is trademark infringement. In 2009, Varone appeared on a U.S. reality TV show, Sex Rehab with Dr. Drew, where he claimed to have slept with more than 3,000 women.
Hey, good on him.
I hope he used protection.
No. He's like a gay guy.
Right.
Except with chicks.
Exactly. He claims Sabo, Southworth, and their lawyer contacted nightclubs and talk show producers for Oprah Winfrey and Tyra Banks ahead of his scheduled appearances and used his connection with Sex Rehab to successfully prevent him from being identified as the former drummer of Skid Row. Nice. Hail and Kill caller, you're on the air.
Hail and Kill, boys. Why didn't doggos just ask Jeff?
What is what?
Why didn't Doggos just ask Jeff?
Well, maybe Jeff isn't staying the weekend with him or something.
Good enough. Hail and kill.
Why, that was simple enough. All right. In addition, he claims the pair had falsely informed people that Varone had slept with Sabo's wife, that Varone is a coke addict, and that Varone is a liar, adding, it's Skid Row's complete omission from a description of Varone's professional experience deprives Varone from the benefits of his experience as a professional studio and live musician and rock star who toured the world, gave countless interviews, made hundreds of appearances, and amassed thousands of fans worldwide.
Wow.
Varone is seeking unspecified compensation and punitive damages. He is also seeking a declaration that his use of the Skid Row name does not violate trademark agreements, according to the Hollywood Reporter. So there you are.
Wouldn't you? I mean, maybe I'm wrong on this. I probably could be. But even when Phil was in Skid Row, wasn't he really known as the guy from Saigon Kick?
Yeah, that's how I remember him, but who knows?
You know, why doesn't he just go out there and say, yeah, I'm the guy from Saigon Kick that fucked 3,000 women?
I don't know. Maybe because, Skid Row is a higher profile name.
I guess, but not when he was in the band.
No, but the association with, the connection of being in a higher profile band or a recognizable name.
Yeah, I guess.
Helped his career, and they're just like, we didn't have the best, split with the guy, so fuck him. He's not going to use the name.
Well, I've never not known him to use the name.
Well, that is true, but I think what they were trying to do was keep him from using the name.
Yeah, that worked well.
Well, again, it's all semantics.
Yeah, I know. You can't really say that he can't say that he was in Skid Row. You can't. I agree that he shouldn't be out there saying, yeah, it's Skid Row drummer Phil Varone.
Right.
He should definitely have to say former or ex or something like that, but, whatever. Just call him Rockstar.
Yeah. Or drummer.
Or the guy that used the third stick.
Sure.
That's really what that should be his stage name, Third Stick.
Sure.
Phil Varone, drummer slash cocksmith.
Yeah. Well, who would ever thought that the interview that we did was going to get that much traction?
It did get a lot of attention.
Yeah. Well, I'm not even done yet here.
Oh, there's more to this shit?
Oh, there's more.
Jesus.
There seems to be a domino effect here. A recent comment from Dave Sabo turned Phil Varone's ear. Now Varone added his own comments. Just like a game of follow the leader, we have a new commentator, ladies and germs. Let us introduce you to Lance Eric of Bang Tango.
All right.
Eric, or was it Lance? Either way, the Bang Tango bassist has taken to his Facebook to throw some gasoline on the latest Skid Row bonfire.
All right.
Mr. Eric has called Varone the biggest loser in the industry and boasts it's no secret.
Okay.
Varone and Eric have a past, and sadly we can't report anything good. In fact, back in August 26th of 2012, Eric went on a Facebook and let us all hang out. It appears there was a sexting affair between Eric's then live-in lover and the rock star turned porn stud. Lance even talked about seeing pictures of Phil's horse meat on her phone.
Okay. All right.
Well, everyone was right, and I mean everyone. Kelly has been texting and communicating with Phil, the diseased loser wannabe drug addict who wasn't good enough to be in Skid Row, and telling him she wants him back and only moved closer to LA to be with him.
Wow.
Also have been sending naked pics back and forth to each other. Phil said, I didn't deserve to be let's see. I didn't deserve to be, although, let's see. Phil said I didn't deserve to be, although her, 'cause I have too many chins. I don't know what that means. She told him she's just chalking it up to being closer to him. She also told me she fucked my roommate. Jeez.
I'm glad to see they got a good, wholesome girl between them.
Right. The bitch deserves all that she is coming to her. She knew that the heartache I was in, and she led me on and used me. I can't tell you how many people warned me. Kelly, you are a disgrace to women, and you deserve to be abused by Phil. All I ever did was trust you and believe in you and love
Who's
you.
saying this?
This is that Bang Tango. Yeah, this Bang Tango Lance Eric guy.
Okay.
This is a post on his Facebook.
All right.
Because that's the place to go when you are, reeling in anguish.
Right.
As you well know.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see here. All I ever did was trust you and believe in you and love you, and you stabbed me back. I didn't deserve this. You are a user. You used me, and you used her. You used me, and you used her parents. My heart is destroyed. Go back to Phil or any of the guys that treat you like a number. Like a number. You will wake up one day and realize what you have lost. Isn't that what every guy says or every chick says about the guy? You're gonna be fucking sorry. You're gonna wake up one day and you're gonna realize.
You realize that I'm not there anymore.
Right.
Good.
Isn't that what your ex said when she stomped out the door?
Yeah.
You're gonna realize you lost the best thing you ever had.
Oh, believe me, I realize that you're not here anymore.
Right.
I definitely realized that, thank God.
I was willing to give you a chance, and you converse like that with a guy who is engaged? You are evil to the fullest extent, and you just told me this morning you love me. I'm so dumb. Everyone was right.
Holy shit, really?
I would feel like a total asshole posting that on the Facebook.
Well, you feel like an asshole because I look, the chicks will hurt your feelings.
They do, dude. Nobody knows better than me.
There's no question about that. But man, if you can't look at your own writing today and see that this was a cum-dripping, fucking cum-swallowing cunt that was doing all this shit behind your back.
Right.
If you can post this right now and still feel bad because she told you she loved you this morning, you know what? She kissed you with Phil's jizz in her breath.
Right.
Fucking walk away, bro. Just be done with this bitch. I'm sure being the bassist of Bang Tango can still draw some pussy. Somebody must still think that's cool.
Sure. Who was it? Which basketball player was that a few years ago? Was it Magic Johnson or Kobe Bryant who came out with that rap song about who was it?
It was Shaq.
Shaq came out. How do I taste or something or
how's my ass taste? Kobe, how's my ass taste?
That's exactly it.
Yeah,
it's no different.
It's the same thing. It's like, hey, geez, oh man.
How's Phil's jizz taste in your mouth there, Eric?
All right, you're dating a girl. You find a picture of another guy's horse meat on the fucking phone.
Yeah.
Is that not immediate termination?
That's it. It's done. It's over.
Like today, like now.
Yeah.
Like, don't need to go another step.
No, it's like, and there's no amount of excuses or reasons why, or, oh, it's just, we're just friends, or, oh, he was just joking, or,
friends.
You're
not just friends if his dick is just fucking popping up in your fucking mail.
Right.
Move along.
You hurt my feelings.
Yeah, well, move on before she hurts your fucking bank account to go with it, you dummy.
Right.
Jesus.
all I can think of reading that post
Yeah.
is that song Sam Kinison sang on his first HBO special. You fucking whore. You used me. You never loved me. I hope you slide under a gasoline truck and taste your own blood. You know?
Yeah. Dude. There's definitely the ones that are not obvious, and then there's ones like this that are like, dude, you should be happy you found this out.
Sure.
Be happy that you didn't marry this bitch only to find out what a cheating, cum-guzzling slut she is.
Right.
Come on.
I agree, but dude, just, that aside.
Yeah.
How much traction did you think that was going to get us?
None. I just wanted to know. I didn't, I had never read it, and I wanted to know. That's the only reason I asked.
Right.
I didn't expect it to get any traction. Jesus.
Right. But that story went all over the place for
2 weeks.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah. Well, we'll take it. Maybe that was what pushed us over the edge with iHeart.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what it was. I'm sure that's what it was.
Oh, they saw us as a mover and a shaker.
Sure. Oh, God. All right. Well, I'm ready to get another drink, and then we'll wrap up the show.
All right. Works for me.
I got just a couple more things to tackle.
All right.
And then we'll get out of here.
Sounds good to me.
Anything you'd like to hear, sir?
Something that rocks a little bit.
Yeah, something to bring up the tempo. This has all been downer shit.
Yeah, let's go with "Got the Time" from Persistence of Time from Anthrax.
Look at you, going with a little rappy metal.
Not that song. Yeah, I guess it is a little bit. Tick tick ticking in my head, ticking in my head.
Right, it's a little rappy.
A little bit.
Never been that big of a fan of the whole Belladonna era, except for the last one.
I love Persistence, man. Persistence is like my album with them. With Joe, and I love worship music. Don't get me wrong.
Worship music was badass, man.
That is such a. I was listening to that this afternoon. That's a great album.
I agree. And what was the one you wanted to hear?
Got the Time.
Got the Time.
4, I believe.
You know what? I'm looking to see if I even have that one.
You don't have Persistence of Time?
I'm looking.
What in the fuck?
You know what? I don't have that one.
All right. Then let's just go with In the End from Worship Music.
Oh, I got the Time. I'm sorry. I got it.
All right.
I got it, pal.
All right, that works.
All right, we're going to play a couple tunes. We'll be back. Wrap up the last 55 minutes of the show, and we'll be done.
That's right.
All right. Well, here it is. It's Anthrax by the request of Mr. Chris Aiken, and here it is. Got the Time exclusively here
on your classic metal show.